Let me just start by saying that if you're not interested in what I've been doing lately, you might not want to watch this video. It's going to be a lot of rambling, a lot of just talking about a whole lot of stuff I've been doing and why I haven't been making videos lately. But let's dive in. It's been a long time since I've put a new video on this channel, and I think I owe you an explanation of why that is. What's been going on? Why do I no longer post new videos? And let's dive right in. I'm going to explain to you that I've had a lot going on. Been very, very busy. So why am I in what looks like a bathroom? Well, this was my indoor grow room. And if you've been following me for a while on YouTube, then you would know I've been saying for at least 3 years now that my grow room was a temporary room because someday I need to turn that into a bathroom. And so that's where we are. This was my grow room. And so, oh, look at that. See my back? See me showing you my recording? So that's what's going on. It took me a little while to get this done. Still have to paint the trim, but everything else is done. And this is essentially my daughter's and wife's bathroom. And my son and I have taken over the master bathroom, which is the one bathroom we've been sharing for a few years now while I waited to get this finally done. Did it all myself. All the drywall, all the electrical, all the plumbing, everything. So, no more indoor grow room until I figure out what I'm going to do about that. I don't know what I'm going to do this winter, but I do have some stuff growing outside. Now for now, it's still summer, I guess early fall. I'm not sure what date fall actually starts. But this is a familiar site, my Microgreens Palace. Let's see what's going on in here. It's not a ton growing. I haven't been growing a whole lot lately, but I do grow some. Place a mess because I kind of doubled up as using this as a multiple workspace. I have some tools in here. At the same time, I have some microgreens. These are some carrots. I have been extremely happy with carrots. They grow way better than I expected. And I apologize for the fan noise. It is very noisy in here, but yeah. These are probably about 2 weeks old. Carrots do take a little bit of time. I like to get a nice big frilly leaf on them before I harvest them. So these are about probably 2 or 3 days out before I would harvest them. They'd be fine right now, but to get them really pretty, it's gonna take a little bit longer. They're in complete 100% cocoa core. And I am using Maxi Grow nutrients, so I get a nice good growth. Over here, I have a bunch of stuff that's ready to be unstacked, as you can see. Maybe I'll unstack these in a minute and then show you what's going on. But down here, a couple broccoli. The very bottom are some peas. There's 2 trays of radish. Can't remember what is in here yet, but I'll know immediately. This is amaranth, and that's not ready. It's not as hot right now, and amaranth actually doesn't sprout that good when it's not super warm. So that may not be a great tray. Here's some amaranth that is great, and you can see my trays are getting kind of worn, but I still use them. I have some that are better than others. Not much to see under here, but these are also in 100% cocoa core, and they're doing great. Some bull's blood beets. These are doing fantastic. This is a really good grow. These are also in 100% cocoa core, and they're about 2 weeks old. Same thing with this amaranth, it's about 2 weeks old. These are great. These are really, really nice. Not sure if I have much roots poking through. No, there's 0 roots poking through, but yep. Should I unstack those for you guys right now? Yeah, why don't I do that? All right, quickly unstack those. This is arugula. Little poor germination on the corner. Probably didn't have enough weight right there. The rest of the tray looks pretty good. Here's some broccoli. Looks fantastic. This has all been stacked for 3 days. So it's funny how it doesn't look good, you know, when it's yellow, but that's really good germination. That's really nice. Here's some China rose radish. I've been getting a lot of this lately with radish. They'll still grow great, but it feels like poor, it's not poor germination, it's like poor rooting. These probably could have been left stacked for another day. You can see right here. What that will do is there'll be some clumps that get picked up, and as the tray grows, it'll be just fine, but ideally you don't want to see these spots where they didn't really sprout that well. And under here I've got some peas. I'm going to leave those for at least another day, probably 2 days. So let's see what else I've been up to and why I don't make any more videos lately. Before I jump into other stuff unrelated to microgreens, I want to talk a little bit about upcoming work. So this is TerraFiber. They sent me this kit free of charge to check out. I'm not like affiliated with them or nothing like that, but they, you know, asked me to try it out and let them know what I think, and I'm going to let you know what I think as well. So far, I'm super excited to try this stuff out. It's all hemp. You got these hemp big grow blocks. These are like the what you'd usually see is rock wool, and then there's these little ones where you could start something in them, and then you could put them in these holes. And then we have the mats, the 10-20 mats from Microgreens. They gave me a whole nice stack. There's probably like 10 in here or so. And what I thought was different right away is that these have like a paper lining on the bottom, or some sort of lining. So I'm really excited to get going with these. There'll be a whole video coming up on that really soon. Okay, here's probably one of the top things that threw me off on making videos this summer. I did actually make videos on this car, but they're on my other channel. And a few things I'm going to be showing you today are on another channel, which is Corey's Garage. I'll put a link in the description if you want. Check that out. There were people on this channel that really got bent out of shape when I made automotive type stuff. Like they only wanted to see gardening stuff, and I do everything. But this car is a 2008 EOS. Some people call it an EOS, which is what I typically end up calling it. Convertible, hardtop convertible car. And I picked this up from my wife. Bought it for $1,000. It didn't run. It had a problem with the immobilizer. And so I straightened out the immobilizer problem, which I took the whole instrument cluster apart, checked all the connections, made sure everything was good. I did a water pump, timing belt, all that service, because I couldn't verify when it was last done. I still need to clean up the headlights, but yeah, this car took up a little bit of my time while I got this all straightened out for my wife. I did a wheel bearing as well, but at the end of the day, I've got less than $2 grand into this car, and it's a cool car. It's fun. She loves it. Hey, chickens. All right, the other thing I've been doing this summer, I did make 2 videos on this, and then I just kind of stopped. This has been great because it is self-sufficient, but I totally screwed it up because I should have trimmed these tomatoes. They are absolutely insane. I said that they were going to be when I started this whole thing, but they're nuts. I can barely even walk in here. I have to move branches around to get in. See, even through here. It's just absolutely insane production. But also because I didn't trim anything, even though I'm feeding these really good nutrients, there's so much growth that the tomatoes don't get very big. These are cherries, so they're not supposed to get really big anyways, but I've got some Romas and stuff that I'll try to squeeze in there and show you, and even those, they just didn't get very big. This is probably maybe the last year for this greenhouse. I might be able to get one more year out of it, but there's getting to be holes in the top. And you can see here, a tomato actually grew through the roof, and it's actually got tomatoes on it. So That's pretty crazy. Like I said, I have not been taking good care of this. I have a hose going into my reservoir in the back that you can't see. Once in a while, when it gets low, I'll throw some nutrients in there, turn on the hose to fill it back up, and that's it. I don't do anything else in here. I haven't been maintaining it. I haven't even been in here picking as much as I should be. It's just absolutely nuts. I have a whole bunch of overly ripe jalapenos, but that's totally fine, really. They'll just be hotter. Got some really nice jalapenos in here. I know this whole branch here is loaded with jalapenos. And those are all cracked. And in my experience, when you get jalapenos that crack like that, they're going to be hot. My hydroponic jalapenos have always been insanely hot. So I don't have any airflow to speak of in here, really. And so I do have some things that are like pretty gross. These are those zucchini plants, which I just kind of gave up on. I figured it's not going to work out this year. But down here, they're growing all the way down to the ground. It's hard to even see. But you can see there's a zucchini right here. It's doing all right. That one's not dead. There's a couple new ones here. But I can't really get down there too well, but I wouldn't be surprised if there's a couple good zucchinis possibly down there. I'll have to check that out. Here is my absolute wall mess of tomatoes. See some Romas. There's more in here. These are more Romas. They're either Roma or San Marzano. I'm not sure. But because I don't have very good airflow, tomatoes will grow roots anywhere where there's moisture on them. I'm not sure how many people are aware of that, but they will. And so you can see right here, see all those roots? That's like 2 feet up from the bucket. There's roots everywhere. And it becomes a big freaking mess. So this was kind of my plan, though, to just grow it and leave it. Got a bell pepper back here. There's not much else going on that one plant. I already picked a couple bell peppers. This one, unfortunately, broke. You can see there's a tomato way down there. It's just insane in here, guys. It's nuts. But this is completely unmaintained chaos. So that is definitely not a how you should do it, but a how you could let something go way out of control. There's more jalapenos back there, even more back there. So the hydroponic greenhouse this year, I wouldn't say it's a fail because it is producing, but I wouldn't call it a success, and I wouldn't recommend that you do it the way I did it. It's way too congested in there. It is packed right full. So let's move on to other things I've been doing. Now I'm going to take you on a rare walk of some of my property. I've had people in the past ask to see the rest of it because I usually show such small amounts. I do that honestly because I usually have junk and stuff everywhere, and I don't like to show my yard and stuff a mess. So I'm going to show you today because I don't care. So I talked about that car already. Here's another car that I just bought my wife a few months ago. That's a 2021 Toyota Venza Hybrid Limited. It's absolutely freaking beautiful. I'll have to yell at her for leaving a cup inside, but that took a little bit of my time as well, you know, just to kind of buy that. I take some time to buy something because I'm really picky about making sure I get my trade value and get the car at a good price. And White River Toyota of Vermont was awesome, and I cannot complain at all about the deal they gave me. Here is a 1984 Chevy K10, I believe. It's a 4-wheel drive, 8-foot bed truck. My father just picked this up. and we've just started tearing it apart. He's done almost everything. I helped like a little bit today. This has a crate engine 454, so it's an actual GM 454 crate engine in it. It's an AC truck. Why would we tear this apart? It looks so nice, right? It's an Arizona truck. 0 rust on this truck. Like, 0. Well, this side maybe wasn't so nice. So it was pretty wrecked. This is my father's project, like I said. I don't have much to do with it. Help him out here and there. But this truck being an Arizona truck, and like I said, it's completely mint as far as like rust, which in New England, you would never see a truck like this. An 84 that wasn't all rotted out. Like this rust here, I'm not counting that from the accident. That surface rust doesn't matter. But anyways, he's already got a new cab for it. That will be here tomorrow. A new door over there. There's a fender on top of that convertible Cuda over there. And he's going to buy a bedside. And it'll be like a beautiful brand new truck. And it's going to be a good flip. We don't usually keep anything that we fix. Especially him. It's usually buy, fix it up, and sell. So let's continue our walk. Now, the other thing that took a lot of my time this summer was I bought a 2004, I believe it was, Saab 9.3 convertible that I fixed all up. It was a complete basket case, and I totally fixed that car up and made it beautiful and sold it for a nice little profit. But it did take some of my time. I did paint and body work on that car. I changed the computer in that car. I had to learn how to program it. Just a lot of little things. It wasn't a lot of money, but it was a lot of time. I even redid the leather in that car. I'll put maybe a screenshot up of what that was. Here is my 91 Daytona Shelby. A lot of you on my channel are really pissed off because I stopped working on this, but it's undercover. I don't know what I'm going to do. I'm not that interested in the car. I've just got to weld up the floors in it. So what happened was I did a bunch of work. I made a bunch of videos on this channel, actually, where, oh, geez, I can't remember everything I did, but I replaced a bunch of stuff, did a bunch of stuff to it. It's kind of hard to see that, but there's a hole in the floor down there. I've already stripped the interior out of it. And I ordered a bead roller so that I could make the floor panels myself, because you can't buy those. But I wanted to have like the factory rolled beads in them. And while I was waiting for that, my priorities changed. I have it. I've had it for well over a year now. But I got stuck in so many other priorities, I just never got back to the car. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. It's hard because a lot of people love this car, but even after I make it completely cherry, it's just not worth that much money. So it's hard to put my priorities there when I have so many other things going on. This is one of my favorite parts of the whole property, except for the old burn barrel right there, but it's beautiful out here. I come out here and I throw in my AirPods and I mow the lawn, and that's about all that ever gets seen. Nobody ever uses it or sees it, but I love it. It's nice. It's a nice area. And actually, have a little confession to make. Another reason why I have not been making a lot of videos lately is kind of silly, but I'm pretty busy, as you can tell. And usually when I'm doing my microgreens or doing, especially the microgreens, harvesting, planting, things like that, I've become very, very hooked on Audible. So I use Amazon Audible all the time. I love listening to books while I work. I almost never listen to music anymore. It doesn't matter if I'm working on cars or what I'm doing. I am listening to a book. I've listened to probably 100 books this year. Sometimes I even find myself downloading a book that I already listened to because I forgot that I already listened to it because I listen to that many books. So it's kind of a decision, like, I'm going to do some work. I'm going to plant some microgreens or do whatever. Do I want to set up my camera and talk to you guys and do all that extra effort, or throw in my AirPods and just listen to a book and get it done? And honestly, a lot of the time, I choose to just throw in the AirPods and listen to a book. I should change that though, because I really have been slacking on the videos. But I'm just being honest, like, that's something I've been doing. Let's get back on the little tour of what I've been doing. All right. If you've been watching my other channel, Corey's Garage, you may recognize this project. This is something that throughout the summer, I put a ton of work into. Hey, Blue. Whoa. Blue's trying to destroy the place. So this is a truck that it was my uncle's before he passed, and it was pretty rough. No rust, but the body was really dented, rough, everything. I did a whole series on all the body work I did. I painted this whole thing, and I still have, more work to do. But again, priorities. What's nice is this is sitting here in my nice clean garage, or semi-clean garage. It's not getting hurt. I still want to cut and buff it. I still have to paint that cowl. I still have to paint the tailgate. I still have to paint the door jambs. But the truck came out pretty good. I mean, for what I was trying to do, I don't think you can complain all that much. I still got to do the whole interior. Another thing I did this summer was I did a lot of work under the hood. Let's see if I can open this. It's kind of hard one-handed. So I replaced the valve cover gaskets, the intake gasket, painted the whole engine bay black, which I'm not a big fan of it being black, but it looks good on this truck. It's not completely done. I still have more work to do. But yeah, I tore all this stuff down, painted everything. I still got to add a vent filter there. New rotor, a new cap, wires, plugs, all that stuff. I got rid of the AC box because I didn't like it. It used to stick like way out here. I chopped that off. There's a new heater core in here. I just haven't connected it yet. It's still just looped off. But yeah, I made my own custom like plate to block off where the AC used to be. So yeah, that's just something. But this starts right up and it yard drives. It's not a bad truck at all. It's a little bit dirty. But yeah, we'll get this cleaned up and we'll get this fixed up at some point. And see, the interior is a mess because I did the whole heater core thing, and all the door panels and everything's still off from when I had to take off the door handles and all that. But yeah, so that sucked up a bunch of my time too, and that was on YouTube, but it wasn't on this channel because, like I said, I got a lot of feedback from people saying they didn't like it when I showed stuff that wasn't microgreens, or wasn't farming in general, so I created a separate channel for that. I hope you enjoyed watching this video of showed a little bit more of my property, showed a little bit more of everything that's going on. I hope you understand why I haven't been making a ton of videos. Probably could have made videos on a lot of the stuff I did. Maybe somebody would have wanted to see me building that bathroom. I don't know. Probably not. But I'm about to start making a lot more videos. And I'm probably going to start with those TerraFiber products that I got, because I'm really excited to try those out. I think that's going to be fantastic. I've always been a big fan of hemp. Hemp mats are fantastic. I love cocoa core as well, but I probably, if cost was the same, I would probably go with hemp. But right now, usually cocoa core is cheaper. But we'll see what those TerraFiber mats do. and the blocks. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those because I don't have a lot of room right now. I mean, I could definitely use them in the spring, but I don't want to wait that long. The company gave them to me. I should give them a review, whether it's positive or negative, on what I thought of the product that they sent me. I would never give a good review on a product I didn't like, and I won't even recommend something that I haven't tried because it's not my style. But yeah, so I've also got a bunch of new seeds from True Leaf Market to try out that I'm gonna be making some videos on those, and we'll see what I can come up with to keep some content going. Apologize for the long delay in anything interesting. Maybe you thought some of this was interesting, I hope, and keep watching. Leave a comment. I always respond to your comments if I see them, which I usually do. Thanks for watching. Bye.